So the first thing you want to do is bring it up to 190 degrees. Basically, if you have any kind of old milk, like this milk was just getting ready, I don't know, maybe not go bad, but it had just been sitting in the fridge for a long time. I was thinking about time to throw it away. But I mean, even if it starts going sour or, and so basically I've got it at almost the lowest temperature, and you can see it'll create a skim on the top if you don't constantly stir it. So not only will it create a skim on the top, if you look on the edge here, it'll start getting the milk fat will start sticking to the bottom of the pan like that. So realistically, to make farmer's cheese, all you're doing really is bring the milk up to right under a boil. So 190 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you add something acidic to it. Like, well, I tend to use vinegar because it's really cheap. I don't have any white vinegar, so I'm going to use some of this apple cider vinegar because it's not as good with the apple cider vinegar, but in my case, I'm making a sweet cheese. So it doesn't matter if I'm using apple cider vinegar as much. So basically what I'm doing is I'm bringing this up to the 190 degrees and then slowly add the acidic. I usually, again, use vinegar or lemon juice, whatever I have most of. And we'll step through the process here. And then once it's hot, once it's curded, it's pretty interesting. This milk was actually sour milk. And if you look, it's already starting to curd as it heats up. We're only up to 160 degrees without me actually pouring any lemon juice into it. But I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit in. This is not wine, but some vinegar. See how it curds up real nice? You definitely don't want to put too much. I think I just put, I don't know, a couple tablespoons in there. In this case, the milk was already pretty sour. And so look at that. All right, let me turn it off. Did you see how quickly that curded up? The fresher the milk, the harder it is to curd and the higher the temperature, I feel. This one actually curded at 180. Didn't even have to get up to 190. And it actually started curding on its own before I put much vinegar in it. We used to, with our goats, get so much milk in the spring that we made tons and tons of cheese like this. And you can go ahead and eat it just like it is right now. But the longer you let it set, the harder it gets, of course. You can get it in a cheesecloth and hang it up and let it drip, and it gets even harder. I like to get it when it's hot. Let's see here. I like to get it when it's hot and add the flavors in it. You can add fresh herbs. You can add That's solid. Today I'm actually making a sweet one. My favorite is like a cinnamon raisin. So even though I was stirring that whole time, it still did stick there. But not too bad. All right. I'm gonna take that cheese. Now, one thing is with this hot water, I don't like to waste it at all. I learned that from my mom. But we actually got my mom a shirt that said "No Whey" on it, WHEY. And the reason we got her that shirt is she would basically make so much cheese and she would always use that water. And we got tired of having a lot of sour food. But so in here, I've got raisins and then almost like a pumpkin pie mix. Some nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, cardamom. And you can add some honey or raisins to it. But I definitely like doing it while it's hot, because then the flavors get really baked in. So that's your basic Farmstead cheese. Don't let your milk go to waste. Oh man, that tastes good. But again, if I had let it drip longer, it would have got more and more solid. So there's what it looks like. Real quick, the main thing I would say is just keep stirring that milk while you're heating it so that it doesn't stick, and then it also doesn't create a film on the top. So, and then you don't really want to, when you do start adding your acid, add it really slowly. In the case of what I just made, the milk itself was actually starting to turn and was sour itself. And I almost didn't have to add any vinegar at all. What did I add? Like maybe a tablespoon.